Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good evening, I'm Jen Ah. Thanks for joining us on 7 at 7, now streaming on Twitter. Tonight we're starting off with health news, sponsored by 4M Dental. Love your smile again. The local woman who suffered the rare side effects from the Johnson & Johnson vaccine reportedly has gone through 3 brain surgeries to repair her blood clots. Now, as you can see, the community is stepping forward to help. A Henderson man opening this GoFundMe account for 18-year-old Emma Berkey. Less than a week, the fundraiser has already reached its goal of $10,000. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine has been suspended pending an investigation into 5 other cases of life-threatening blood clots as well.
It's expected that a committee advising the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention will meet later this week to again consider a course of action. It is possible that the committee will recommend that the vaccine again be put into use, but perhaps restricted.
The family spokesperson also telling us Emma is slowly showing signs of improvement. In more health news, home health workers are advocating for better working conditions. The Senate Committee on Health and Human Services recently passing a bill aiming for just that. Most home care services comes from taxpayer dollars through Nevada's Medicaid program, which has been cut to its lowest level since 2003.
I wish we would get more benefits. That's what we're fighting for, the SB 340. Benefits and insurance, more pay.
Right now, the median hourly wage just being $11.07. However, critics say Nevada is just recovering from the pandemic, and this bill will only drive up costs for Medicaid services. Now to your other top story, sponsored by Carnegie Heights. In the year 2020, Nevada's DMV reports close to 70,000 drivers from out of state applying for Nevada driver's licenses. Which states are these drivers moving from? Review Journal's Renee Summerhour has the answer. Good evening, Renee.
Jen, good evening. As one would expect, the majority turning in their old state licenses and ID cards last year, all hailed from California. The Golden State represents about 30,000 or about 43% of the surrendered cards turned in last year. DMV officials specifically in Clark County saw that over 19,000 from California came to the state, followed by Florida, which is coming in second, and then there's Texas, Arizona, and Washington.
The DMV did see a lot of, Californians moving here. It was a pretty significant dip from 2019's total due to being shut down for three months and operating at a lower clip. But now, things are getting a little bit back to normal, and they said they're pretty much back to operating at 2019 levels. So you can expect that number to rise again for 2021.
States with the lowest number of surrendered licenses and IDs were Rhode Island, Maine, New Hampshire, and Washington, D.C. Jen?
Over at the Clark County School District. Before students return to the classrooms full-time for the next school year, the district will be offering new summer classes. This comes after some parents called for expanded summer options to help their kids catch up on learning lost during the pandemic. All district schools will offer these 6-hour summer classes 5 days a week for free, starting in June. If you looked up at the sunny and warm blue skies today, you might have gotten a glimpse of the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds flying over the valley. Here you see them flying back from the Cocoa Beach Air Show in Florida. They're now officially back home at the Nellis Air Force Base. And today was the perfect weather for flying, except for some winds. Your forecast brought to you by 1 Hour Air. No matter the season, no matter the reason, 1 hour is here for you. Those Thunderbirds enjoying clear skies here in the valley today. Looking ahead to tonight, we're expecting temps to drop down to the low 60s. Nothing but warm temps from here, though. Highs for the rest of the week sticking to the 80s, maybe a little higher this weekend. We can also expect gusts to pick back up starting this weekend, then taper off later next week. In your business news, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, Bank on Accountability. A buying frenzy, house prices skyrocketing in the Vegas area, but the number of homes on the market remaining low. Industry experts say the housing market is currently filled with out-of-state buyers, mostly from California, and many paying cash. So what does this mean for the Vegas housing market long-term? We're going to take an in-depth look with our real estate expert Eli Siegel later tonight, so stay tuned. In your lifestyle news, sponsored by Get Healthy, Clark County, a classic French bistro at the Venetian has been busy enough to open 5 days a week for dinner. Chef Thomas Keller of Bouchon saying he's feeling pretty good about restaurants in Vegas right now.
It's very exciting to see what they do. My sense of pride in this restaurant is as high as ever. The quality of the experience for me and when I look around as our guests is great. So I think that we're coming out of what has been probably the most challenging time in many of our lives, and we've been able to do it.
He says the returning crowds are bringing some positivity for many restaurants.
Sports, sponsored by Scenic Brewing Company. The Raiders are continuing to make defensive moves, this time by adding veteran cornerback Rasul Douglas. Originally a third-round pick by the Philadelphia Eagles in 2017, Douglas was most recently with the Carolina Panthers. Last season, Douglas made 11 starts and finished with a career-high 62 tackles and 9 pass breakups. Douglas is expected to compete for time in a reserve role, but he could push second-year cornerback Damon Arnett for a starting job. Sports betting, sponsored by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. The dates on the Raiders' 2021 regular season schedule have yet to be announced, but the lines on all 17 games are on the board and open for betting at Station Casino Sportsbooks. Las Vegas is favored in 6 of 9 home games at Allegiant Stadium and underdogs in all 8 road games. Besides the Raiders' 2 games against the Chiefs, every game has a point spread of 6 or less, including 9 that are 3 or less. The Silver and Black went 8-8 straight up and against the spread last season.
In your entertainment news, sponsored by DiscoverYourNevada.com, brought to you by Travel Nevada. Get ready for a circus away from the Strip. Here, performers are getting ready for Ignite, a creation of a pair of Cirque du Soleil artists and some Las Vegans. It's an outdoor circus with acrobats, artists, clowns, and all. This event is at Sandy Valley Ranch with camping available on the grounds. Shows are on May 7th and 8th. Find more at ignitenv.com. That wraps up our Monday night 7 at 7 from the Review Journal. I'm Jen Opp. Watch us on the RJ mobile app, Roku TV, or YouTube. Also watch 7 at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Have a great night.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.